Guys doing? I hope all is well tonight. Tonight, I want to give you guys a countdown about Maya, Diddy's assistant. Diddy assistant Maya, she spoke out today in a testimony, and guess what? She name dropped some celebrities. Can you believe who she name dropped? She talked about Swiss Beats. Yes. She says that Swiss Beats, guess what? I guess he likes to watch like Diddy because she said that he was definitely watching her get thrown around, spaghetti thrown at her, put hands on her and everything. And she said he did nothing. Okay. So a lot of people are calling for Swiss Beats head and they want to know, Swiss Beats, what all do you know? Did you see this happening? And I just want to say, hey, Kavan. Kavan told me to talk about this. So that's why I'm here talking about it. I did some updates earlier today, but we're going to redo and revisit tonight. Hey, y'all. Hey, Queenie. Hey, Lisa Wilson. How you doing, baby? All right. Hey, out of service. All right. Yep. Yep. So let's talk about it. I want to know your thoughts about all of this. Well, Diddy assistant Maya, she took the stand today. She says she's been working for Diddy since 2009 to 2017. Those are some years, isn't it? She said the first time the crazy stuff happened was on Diddy's 40th birthday, a big celebration for Diddy, right? Like, why would he want to do something like that on his birthday? She says that he cleared everybody in the kitchen. He told them, get out, get out, get out. And he brought Maya inside the kitchen. So it was just Maya and Diddy. And they were in this kitchen and Diddy was telling her, we're going to work closer. I'm assuming from her point of view, she's probably thinking that, man, I'm going to get a raise or promotion or something like that. So he says, let's drink up some vodka, and let's toast to that. So she says she did it. Of course, she didn't think nothing of it. Okay, come to find out, I believe that vodka was spiked. She said after she drunk it, man, her eyes start rolling. She didn't feel good. She didn't feel like herself. And she said once that happened, Diddy grabbed her and put his mouth on her mouth as a big wet kiss. Now that's crazy in itself, right? I feel like that is a health risk because where has Diddy mouth been? I'm sure Diddy mouth has been summer everywhere. And then they say that Diddy likes other men, ice cream to be on his nipples. And who knows if he's putting it around his mouth with those type of men that have that risky type of lifestyle. So Diddy just putting his mouth on you, man. And I would hate to be Maya in that situation. I will run to the hospital and get checked real quick, okay, about my lips. But she said he kissed her on the lips and then he took her hand and stuck it in her dress, okay? Man, he didn't even wash them hands, Who knows what them fingers are or what he's digging into because he get off on so much. And I'm sure, when he hired Maya, just like Cassie, just like everybody else he hired, he be having in his mindset, I feel, yeah, I'm going to get her one day. I'm going to get her one day. And I guess on his first 40th birthday, he felt like, hey, he wanted a gift and Maya was the gift that he was going to do that to that time. And they said, well, what did you do, Maya? When he did that to you, she said, I couldn't do shit. She said she was frozen. She was scared. She didn't know how to respond to this. So that's how Maya said. And Maya said she's been in multiple situations with Diddy like that. I will go over the transcript with you all. But before I do that, can you guys please like this video? We definitely are in desperate need of the likes, okay? Never later than never. We need them damn likes, okay? Man, it's been a struggle not doing them AI video reactions. I'm going to have to react to something. Or I should just give it more time and be more patient. But you know me, I'm impatient. I'm very impatient. So I really need you guys to get the likes up. We are a community, okay? Okay, I'm looking at it says, why did she stay and not report it or leave afterwards? Because she was afraid, you know? She did not know what he could do to her because she have witnessed so much stuff about Diddy, about him being nefarious, you know? So fear is a big thing. Just like why so many people live in the closet and they don't come out into years to years, right? Because they scared. Why do people do a lot of stuff? Because of fear. Fear is very powerful. That's why the government, that's why religion try to use fear because they know how powerful fear is. Fear can keep you in bondage. Fear could do a lot of stuff, you know. Fear is evil, you know. So it's that fear. It's that being scared, scared of retaliation. Shout out to Baby Doll donating $20. I love you, Gigi Party Crashers. Thank you, baby. She see me struggling and she want to help me out. Thank you, baby girl, Baby Doll. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. That's real support, you guys. When you see a friend of yours is struggling, like I'm struggling, you gonna want to help them out, you know? Direct me in the right way, y'all. I'm struggling out here in these streets. Okay. And I'm not ashamed to say it. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. So yeah, I believe that fear is very powerful. Do you guys agree? Press one if you feel like fear is very powerful. And I think that he put that fear on them. All right. So also with the Swiss Beats, before I get into Maya situation, Maya testified that Swiss Beats was present. He was there. Whoa. He was there. What type of guy would just sit around and allow another man to put paws on a woman in front of him? When Swiss Beats, he could have said something, right? He could have did something. He could have said, Diddy, don't do that shit in front of me, man. You know? He could have walked up, walked out. You know, I think that Swiss Beats would get a man if somebody fart in the room. I'm gonna react to that. I'm not gonna say, are you gonna stay silent if somebody fart? Hell no, hell no. What is that? Do y'all smell that? You might walk out, okay, because it's offensive. It is offensive. So for him to sit there and to see Diddy do that to Maya and him not move an inch and he just sitting there in silent. I don't know if he was smiling, smirking, or it turned him on. I don't know. But he did not get offended. And that tells me something. That tells me that he's used to this type of behavior. He used to men fighting women like this because no way, if you're not used to this type of environment or behavior, you can just be in silent unless he gonna say he was shocked. You know, was he shocked? I don't know. Maybe he was shocked. That's why he was so silent. But other than that, I would think that you'll want to, you know, do something to stop it. But she says that Maya testified that Swiss Beats was present during at least one of those incidents where Diddy was putting paws on her and humiliating her and said nothing at all, did nothing, and just watched it happen. Whoa. You know, that Swiss Beats for you. Are you guys surprised? You know, I don't know much about Swiss Beats to be surprised or not. I don't know who he is. I just know I don't know none of these celebrities. And I don't have high expectations for anybody I don't know. You know, so that's, I guess, a blessing for me because when I hear these reports of people doing shit, I'll be like, oh, okay. You know, I didn't expect them to be that or that, but I know they're human. And I know a lot of humans, you know, they're evil and wicked. So the fact that Swiss Beats, okay, during the infamous tampon and spaghetti incident, that's what they're calling it. Swift was in the room while Maya was bleeding through her clothes. You know, I guess she was on a, you know what? Diddy screamed at her because she was on her, you know what, and hurled a bowl of spaghetti at her. Okay. and Swizz Beatz never stepped in. What do y'all thought about that? Why he never stepped in? Oh, mm-mm. All right. So, do you guys think that he should have stepped in? Do you guys know a lot of men that would not step in? Yeah, I know a lot of men that probably wouldn't step in because they are scared or they don't want to get involved. You know, a lot of people like that. A lot of people will see a person get beat up on the street and they're just going to keep driving by because they don't want to be bothered, because they don't want to be involved. You know, people see that as a headache. But when it's right there in your face, I would rather for a Swizz Beast to walk out the room or something just to say, hey, you know, hey, ho, this shit got to stop. And Diddy, he's so blunt with it. He just do it in front of any and everybody. I don't understand that. By not speaking out, a lot of witnesses say Swizz has now been named as a silent enabler, a man who saw women get abused and chose to keep eating and partying. He wasn't just some guy in the background. He was close enough to see the details of what Diddy did, according to Maya's testimony. That makes his silence powerful, and just he needs to speak out. Do you guys think he will speak out? They're saying that he haven't even said anything to the victims. He hasn't said, you know, he apologized, he did anything. Now, a lot of people feel like, you know, of course not, because he don't want to get drawn in that shit, you know. So I'm going to put up here so you guys can see Maya statements, and you guys can read here with me. All right. So this is what they're asking Maya. As you guys can see, this is the report about Maya today. And do you guys like me talking about this Diddy stuff? Press 2 if you guys like me talking about Diddy stuff. Press 9 if I should switch it up differently. Okay. Because I need to see traction. If I don't see more traction when I'm talking about this Diddy, I'm gonna have to change my tune. Only time I see traction when I'm talking about that Diddy, when I bring the AI involved. When I do that AI Diddy, man, the views come. But I understand it's rebuilding. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna stay complaining. I'm gonna stay complaining. Okay. All right. So here it is. This is Maya. Are you guys ready to read it with me? It says they're back. The assaults, when did they occur? So they asked Maya, when did Diddy start doing these essays to you? Maya says, when I was working for Puffy. That's when it started, when I was working for Puff. They said, so when was the first time and where was it? Maya said it was at the Plaza Hotel in New York for Puffy's 40th birthday. That's the first time. That's where it was, and that's when it started. So they said, were you his personal assistant then, Maya? Maya said, yes, I was. I've been there for only a few months. Haven't even been there long. Not 6 months, not a year, but just a few months. They said, what rooms did Dr. or Mr. Combs rent out? Maya said, oh, you already know. Diddy, he gonna rent out the penthouse. Party guests and celebrities were there. Ooh. Okay. So they said, what did Puffy do? Maya said he asked to speak to me in the kitchen. Not in the bathroom, but the kitchen. Ain't that bold? Ain't that bold to do it in the kitchen? Okay. Ooh. Was it knives around Maya? Maya, was it any knives around? She couldn't grab a knife, but maybe she's scared. And you know, some people, they don't want to hurt the person that's hurting them. You know, some people are scared to hurt people. Even though the person hurt them, they fear to hurt another person because they just don't have it in their spirit to hurt nobody, even if the person hurting them. So they said, so what did he do, Maya? Tell us, what did he do? Maya said, oh, he had everyone to clear the room. He said, come on, get your ass out the kitchen. Come on, get out this kitchen. So now it's just him and Maya up in that kitchen. They said, so what did he say to you, Maya? Maya said that we were going to be working closer together and poured us 2 shots of vodka each for his birthday. They said, so what did you do with the shots, Maya? Maya said, hell, I took them. I threw them bitches back. They hit me so hard. Usually I couldn't take it. I could take it easily. But she said, man, these shots right here, they was something else. They said, Maya said my eyes couldn't focus after I took them damn shots. His face was closed and he put his arm up side of my dress and he kissed me. They said, what? He did what? They said, did you want him to kiss you, Maya? Maya said, oh, hell no. No, they want his ass to kiss me. They said, so were you able to say no, Maya? Maya said, man, I was shook. I was froze. I didn't process what was going on. It happened so fast. Okay, so this is what's going on. So they said, whew, my goodness. Where were you the next time Dr. Combs essayed you, Maya? Tell us about the next time. Maya said, man, it was at the Beverly Grove house. I was asleep on the bottom bunk. I wasn't allowed to lock the door. I woke up and there was this weight of person on me. They said, what? You wasn't allowed to lock the doors, Maya. Nah, Diddy didn't allow her to lock them doors. You know what I'm saying? And they said if she wanted to leave, she would have to ask permission like a kid. And they said, who was on top of you, Maya? Who was on top of you? She said, next thing she know, it was Diddy on top of her. What? Diddy? Maya said it was so fast. He used one hand to get his pants undone. He put himself all up on me. They said, so you mean his pickle? Did he put that pickle in you or that Tootsie Roll? Did he stick that Tootsie Roll in you? Maya said, I just froze. I just froze. Because, you know, that's what Maya does. She freezes. Gonna call her ass Sub-Zero in a minute, right? She freezes. They said, so how did you feel, Maya? How did it feel? Maya said, man, it was terrifying. I was confused. I was ashamed and I was scared. Whew. They said, well, how long did he do it, Maya? They said, oh, Maya said it was real quick. It was so quick. Maya said it was quick, but it felt like it was forever. But he wouldn't leave a job unfinished. So they said, is that when it would end, Maya, when he finished that thing? Maya said, yeah, when he was done with me, that's when he had finished. They said, so was it the next time, Maya? They said, Maya said, yeah. It was the next time. It was at the Beverly Crest house. I was on his bedroom closet floor, putting things in a bag, you know, storing shit up. I was in a closet, you know, putting the shoes up, you know, the suits and shit up. I was in a closet. I was in Puff closet then, you know. And Maya said he had his he done walked over to the closet where I was at and he just pulled that Tootsie Roll out. And then he grabbed my head and she said she started crying. Ooh, she crying. And he was like, put it in. Open your mouth. Open your goddamn mouth. Put it in, ho. And then they said, well, Diddy, he took that Tootsie Roll out and put it in your mouth? She said, yeah, he did that. He put his Tootsie Roll out and put that Tootsie Roll in my mouth. And I was frozen again. Another froze. Man, Sub-Zero. I didn't do anything. I guess she just opened her mouth and just, you know, got that Tootsie Roll. Then they said, well, how did that feel? Did that feel any worse or better? Maya said, man, I felt like trash. I was scared and I was ashamed. Do you hear me? They said, well, how long did it last, Maya? Maya said it was real fast. They said, well, Was there another essay happened, Maya? Maya said, yeah, I have a dark feeling. One time we was flying on a private jet. Everyone was asleep. By that bathroom, there was a bed, right? I went by and he was standing right there. He was standing right there. I tried to make it about other people who might can see or hear, but it did not work. It did not work. He took it right there on that bed next to that bathroom on that private jet. They said, well, how did you feel that time? Did you feel any better? Mike said, nah, I still felt like trash. I felt like a slut and helpless. I had lost some layers of protection. I wasn't safe. I was terrified and I felt ashamed. They said, well, do you remember what happened? Mike said, I don't remember what happened. So those are the court cases and the documents of what Maya said. So what y'all got to say about that? All right. What do y'all have to say about that? Ooh-wee. I tell you, it's something else, ain't it, y'all? Ain't it something else? Whew. Yep, he's out here essaying his co-workers, his assistants. Oh my goodness. What y'all got to say about that? So what y'all got to say about that? Comment, let us know. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe here at the Messy Swizz Spot. Who Queen said, I can't say what I do or won't do. I fix from abuse. Okay. Frozen a fight. Is Maya one of those pro who was trafficking? I'm not sure if she was, but she said that Diddy kept on essaying her and essaying her. And every time he would essay her, she'd get frozen. Okay. So she's telling her story. She said one time he threw a bowl of spaghetti at her when she was on her, you know what, with the tampon, and she was bleeding through her pants. And Diddy got mad about that and threw a bowl of spaghetti at her head. And she said Swizz Beatz was right there. He ain't even do nothing about it. He ain't protect her. He ain't intervene, you know. He just act like it was none of his business, you know. And she ain't appreciate that, Swizz Beatz. You know, she thought he was gonna protect her. Oh my goodness. He suspended her without pay also. He suspended her without pay. I guess when he was done essaying her, or maybe she wasn't a good essay anymore, he decided to suspend her and didn't even pay her. You know, he's notorious for not paying nobody. I guess he want people just to work for him just for the sake of working for Diddy. Yeah, one time. So was she one of his women? Well, that was his assistant. Maya was an assistant. Maya never said she was a girlfriend or one of his, you know, side pieces. She was just an assistant. Oh, yeah, he was real quick. He didn't take long at all, you know. It don't take much to please him. He just want to get it in. I tell you that. Well, comment. I want to know y'all thoughts about this. All right. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe here at the Messy Swizz Spot. And I will see you guys on another upload. Bye.